Sometimes it happens, but you know what? Most people respect you for being that consistent.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and if I irritate a few people, well, first of all, they'll let you know. And second of all, that's just business. I'm not going to allow that to prevent me from making a living.
I remember when I was a rookie, and I just chuckled when you said that because when you said they'll let you know. When I was a rookie, I grew up in a family where I had two sisters, and we all had to practice 30 minutes of the piano before we went to school. So, someone had to be on the piano at 6 in the morning in order to get all that done. And anyway, so I grew up in a family where you got up early, and you just had no choice. That's the way my parents ran our family. And so when I got out of college, and I was calling expireds at 6:30 in the morning, 6:15 in the morning. And I know. And I would invariably wake people up, and they let you know. They would say, "Do you know what time it is?" and I, the first time that happened, I was taken back. But after that, I knew that was going to happen after a certain amount of time, and I would just, be very chirpy right back and say, "Absolutely, I am sorry I'm calling you this time of day. I'll just take a second." And they would say, "Really?" If they persisted and said something about the time of day, I'd say, "Honestly, the business day has started." I'd say something to the effect of, "Your business day has started, and I think that this is just a good example to you of how hard I work. And that if you hire me or find that if you decide to do business with me, you'll find that you've hired someone that will work this hard for you this early."
Oh, absolutely.
I just flipped it around, and rarely, I actually can never remember a time when someone said, "Well, I'm offended, that you've done this." But most people imagine that is what will happen.
Right. Most of these people are people I've already had a conversation with about selling their house. So it's, they look at me as staying on top of my job. It's not most
I think so too. What other mistakes do you think that people make naturally when they go out to build a big listing business?
I don't think they have a plan. They just, the seagull approach. You just fly. How's that saying go? You just fly.
Poop. Yeah, you poop. Pooping right now.
It's like having a plan, you know what I mean? There's just so many little things that you can do. Like if you want to grow your listing business, the number one thing I pick target markets, and the other thing I would do is call it buyers and physicals and have a very, disciplined approach to that. I would hold open houses and target the neighborhood. There's all these little things about it brand new that I would do, and just have a plan. So I'm going to go after this many listings this month. This is how many appointments I have to go on. I know that if I go on 28 listing appointments a month, I'm going to hit my goal this year. I just know that from my stats. So that's what I focus on. What do I have to do to get 28 listing appointments? And as a brand new agent, unfortunately, you probably have to sit on the phone a lot more than I do. But that's what you have to do. Like, I don't know if I ever shared with you, when I got started in this business, I almost didn't make it. My broker told me I didn't have what it took. And then someone overheard me, and they said, "Martin, do you want to make it in this business?" And I said, "Absolutely." I just went down to the hospital. We sat on the phone from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night. That's all I did. And that's how I got started in this business. So, when you're new, that's what you have to do. You either have time or you have money, right? You have the time to make the phone calls, or you have the money to do the marketing. And I'm fortunately in the second group right now where I can spend money on marketing because I don't have the time to sit on the phone all day.
No, but you're still making your calls. You're still doing you're still devoting a certain amount of time to personally touching people. And there's no substitute for that, Martin. There's no substitute.
Mine are very targeted calls, and like I said, I do 10 to 15 calls every morning. I call usually 5 to 6 sellers, and I do my handwritten notes. I do that every single day.
Right. So before I let you go real quick, what do you think the biggest challenge you face this year? What is that?
The biggest challenge right now is lack of inventory. It's...
That's strange, isn't it?
It's really strange. I've had, in just the last probably week and a half, I've had 4 of my properties sell over so far this month, so far I've got 8 properties in the MLS. I've got 4 more ready to go. 4 of those are already bottom line, 2 more of them are negotiating offers. So it's like these listings are literally hitting the market and selling within 3 or 4 days.
And
So,
why is that happening?
in my market, I think what it is we have had in the last 2 years, 1,200 houses have gone into the rental market. And these are sellers who are upside down, or they don't want to sell for the price of the market that the market would give them, so they just rent because we have a strong rental market. We sell 1,500 houses a year in Ann Arbor, so that you're looking at basically 80% of 1 year's inventory has gone into rentals in the last 2 years. So what that's done is shrunk the inventory significantly, and then of course supply and demand kicks in, right? The buying cycle has been very slow for the last couple of years. The buyers figured they had all this time. And all of a sudden, literally 3 weeks ago, almost on a dime, it flipped. Where all of a sudden, you go to this house and that house, sold. And guess what? That speeds up the whole cycle, because all of a sudden the buyers now are afraid of losing a house. So I think that's the main thing that's going on with us is properties going into the rental inventory.
So what are you going to do?
What we've done, I have a rental specialist, and what she's doing now, keep in mind last year we did 71 rentals, so we have an entire database of a lot of the properties that have gone under rent, on both the tenant side and the landlord side. We are now making follow-up calls about 9 months after the lease is signed, and we're following up to see if they're ready to lease again or if they're going to put their house on the market. And so we have a whole program going after that, because a good number of those sellers really don't want to rent. And the good news is the prices are coming up now. Our prices in Ann Arbor last year went up, if you look at price per square foot, about 5%. So we're now making phone calls to a lot of these people saying, hey, you know what, the market's come up 5%, are you ready to put your house in the market? So we've created this whole huge database of owners, property owners who have rented. And we know when when their leases expire, assuming most of them are a year long, and that's what we're going after.
Super. All right, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for your time today, and good luck.
Hey, thanks a lot, Gary.
Thanks, Martin.
I'll see you.
Okay, talk me through your, thanks for bearing with me. Was it worth sitting and just listening to something? Talk me through your ahas. Where's my camera?
He's not sending out recipe cards.
I think the idea of calling out-of-town owners, just look at tax records and see what people have for mailing addresses, and that's an easy way to see if these people are renting out their properties. And I think it's a pretty good way to see about getting some listings.
He's very structured, very diligent about it.
He has a plan.
Consistency.
He is strategic. The
Well,
phrase
you can
is, they don't
hear
just
it.
fly in and poop on everything and leave. That's what the
And
seagull
yet it's very
analogy is.
basic, it's just back to basics.
All it is,
This is what we
basic.
do.
I love when Gary Keller says, no, we do know what the magic pill is.
Consistency.
Consistently. What else did you hear?
Big thing was the research. He didn't just throw out a farm somewhere. He researched to see how many commission dollars, how many houses are selling, what's going on here. Is there an agent that dominates it? And took a lot of time to research before he started any kind of farm.
So he's a realtor who happens to know what he's talking about. He knows his market. He knows the input, and he's strategically saying, if I'm going to put farming dollars into this project, I would like a great return on my investment. I mean, he just spit that right out. I saw Jacob's eyes go when he said $1.2 million in commissions closed in that neighborhood that year. I'd go after that market. That means there's movement, there's activity, it's obviously desirable, it's got a great price point. What else?
No
And
one
not
platform was
dominated.
dominating.
And no one agent was dominant. I mean,
And he
you
said-
can go take over somebody's market share if you want. Why would you? There's plenty. I mean, don't go pick a battle when you can go pick an easier battle and win easily.
The
Or
other thing I
less
heard was
costly.
the price point. He averages $250. He went for neighborhoods $400 to $600.
Well, and what's interesting to me about that is he's running a business, you guys. He said, here's my average sales price. I'd like it to increase. And he didn't just sit in his office and go, I hope it increases. I hope I get a $400,000 listing.
It's product. I mean, it goes back to economics, supply demand, right? I know that if I close a higher price, I'm going to make more, rather than
In
focusing
more
on
efficient
the easy,
work.
low-hanging fruit.
And there's nothing wrong with the $200,000 price point, don't get me
No.
wrong, but why, here's what I want you to get, not about increasing your average sales price. He made a strategic decision for him, for his business, because each of you runs your own business, that he wanted to have more commission dollars associated with fewer transactions. So we went and figured out a plan to do it. What else did you guys get from this?
I like his lead hot sheet, keep track of who he's talked to, and, because I remember our business, the MAPS coach that I talked to said that most realtors every year will lose more business than they do, because they don't follow up.
I have woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I know I am not the only one, and thought, I was supposed to call so-and-so back a week ago. It just, and I'm pretty decent at follow-up, but just gone. Holy cow, that one's gone.
There's
What?
$7,000.
Yeah, that was a $7,000 memory mistake. What else did he have? What did he say? There's one really key one I want you guys to get.
Touching base with sellers consistently?
When he does his 10 calls, his cards, and he's having a crazy week, it focuses on him. He focuses back on what he's supposed to be doing with his consistency.
I love that. I love that. He never lets a day go by. And I know this guy. This is not BS, you guys. This is the truth. This guy does his calls every day. Every day.
One thing I really liked was he said, doesn't matter if I'm slow or whatever, I don't panic because I know I'm doing the activities.
Well, because he's
He has
running a
leads.
business.
Yeah,
And even
generating leads.
exactly. What else?
I love the preparation. I mean, the dude's just a professional. You can hear it come through. Here's what I do. And it's very boring. It's very basic. It's very simple. Here's what I do, and I do it every day. Duh. Okay, well, let's add a bunch of glitter here and no, just do the same thing over and over and over.
He's inconsistent in
Show up.
a lot of little things. Here's the thing that nobody's said yet. You each, every single person sitting in this room, I don't care if you've had your license for 2 weeks or you've had your license for 25 years. Every single person sitting here has 2 resources. What are they? Time or money. You all have it. You may have more of one and less of the other, or more of that one and less of the other. I don't care. And this gets me ticked off, quite honestly. I am so tired of listening to you guys come in my office and say, I can't get the leads. You have time. Put the time into it. I don't care if you don't have money. You don't need money. Go make the calls. What did he say? He quit his job at the hospital. I'm sorry, I just get passionate about this. He quit his job at the hospital and he sat on the phone. What did he say?
8 a.m.
From 8 to 5. Don't tell me you don't have time to make your calls, because I know you do. It is entirely in your control. And I get it, y'all. I got 3 kids. I got 3 kids and I got no help, and I'm running right there with you, so I'm preaching right back at myself, okay? I got 3 fingers pointing back at me. There is no excuse for me not to go sit on that phone. None. Because I have the same amount of hours in the day that you do. We all have it. Some of you are blessed with a great bank account because you run your business really well. You can utilize that. But there's never an excuse, so you can't judge other people's outsides. You can't say, well, they're really successful because they're able to throw a lot of money at their business. You don't need money. You just need a finger that works. That's all you need, and consistency, right? You have the opportunity to grab market share. Who's read Shift lately? You think now might be a good time to read Shift?
Yeah. Well, it's just such a golden opportunity to go take market share right now. You understand? All the other brokerages are freaking out. I mean, I'm sure there's few of them that kind of get it. But for the most part, they're freaking out. Go and take the market share. The opportunity is now. Go and get it. Get on the phone as quick as possible. Find some niche to work and just work the heck out of it.
What does it look like if you reread Shift, not from a panic perspective, like we read it 3 years ago when it came out and we were all going, holy crap, what's happening to the market? What's happening? All the buyers are going away. There's no buyers. There's tons of inventory. Now we have the opposite effect. It's still a shift. So the 12 tactics still apply. Now what does it look like if you shift tactic 2, remargin your expenses? What does it look like if you get real clear about remargining your expenses and you get real clear about the shift in the market, so you're going to take care of getting all the listings? Holy cow, man, you are in the drive. Let me explain to you the advantage that you have. I don't know that you guys get it because you're so focused on your business. You're right where your head should be. Sometimes you don't see what we get to see dealing kind of at brokerage level. There was an argument in a brokerage last week because the broker decided to cut back the newspaper ad size. There was a 30-minute discussion about why that was horrible to do. You guys run your businesses like business people. You treat real estate like the business it is. If I said to you, Keller Williams is going to take on newspaper advertising, you guys would lynch me. Say, why are you spending our profit share money for that? No way. For no return on the investment. You guys get it. You're so far ahead of the game, sometimes I don't think you give yourself credit for it. That's what I'm saying, I get frustrated. You don't even know how much of an advantage you have because of what you're learning and because of your perspective. I challenge you to go reread Shift, looking at it from the angle that we are now. What hasn't happened yet for us is our price point hasn't increased, or our sales price. Now, what is it doing? What are we selling? List to sales price, final list to final sales price.
Much closer.
It's a lot.
98.1.
High percent.
That's good.
Yeah.
You were, Joe, you just purchased a property, and were you not in a multiple offer situation on that? Am I remembering correctly?
There were, I'm trying to remember exactly how it worked out. Yeah,
I know there was at
mean,
least
yeah,
another offer.
there were a lot of interested parties. What happened is it was in a deal, it fell out of the deal and I jumped on it. That's really what it came down to. And I showed buyers properties from 350 to 450 this week, and 3 of the properties the day after we showed it were in contract. My buyers actually went, there's already 4 offers, we don't even want to compete. And then they started looking at different things, right? Cutting back on really what they're looking for, just because they're like, we want a stinking home, we can't get one because there's too many other freaking buyers.
The one thing that does point out, and I'm stuck with a couple of these, is I've got a few listings that have been on a while. And if your listings aren't selling, then you probably need to talk about price reduction.
Tell it to markets.
Because buyers, they may be a little desperate, but they're not that desperate, so they're still not overpaying for the property.
Which is exactly my point, which is we haven't seen the sales price start inflating yet. We're just seeing solid, strong offers, really solid, strong offers, which is great. Let me ask you this. Are you understanding the urgency to go get the listings?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go get them from? Now talk to me.
That's the magic question.
It's an easy question.
Well, DJ and I are just contacting people on listings that we already have. Or if you don't have any listings, you could go to somebody who does, that's not doing that, and just call them in the neighborhood. My gosh, it's amazing. You get those people that aren't in the market yet, they're thinking about it 3 months from now, 6 months from now. I think I've gotten at least 3 or 4 that said, you know, can you call me in June? You know, that's when we really can't. We're back from our cruise, the end of May. Call us in June because we want to put them on the market. But it's just amazing to go through and start just going around your listings or someone else's listings and just check it out. They get fever started.
It's
in that
50 degrees
neighborhood.
outside almost. Go door knock. Go take your listing that you have,
There you
go
go.
knock on doors and say, hi, I'm Dave Brown, I'm with Keller Williams Realty, I have a listing 5 doors down. Listen, I just want to let you know, we're getting a lot of buyer leads on this call. Who do you know in your neighborhood that thinks they might want to sell their home within the next few months? Because we've got buyers that want College Gate East.
Well, and
Does that cost you anything?
nope, your time.
Hey,
Your time. No, what does it look like to, right, you have a listing and it's in the 275 to 300 range.
Yeah.
To walk up and say, oh, by the way, just so you know, 48% of the current listings on the market are already under contract. You know anybody that might be interested in selling right now? You know, throw a little something, be the professional.
Totally. Where else do you get listings from? Yes.
Some of my investor people are getting antsy about the market and that the rental is getting tighter and the rents are going up. And so we're taking buyers that we have and going back to these people and saying, we know your house is still leased, we know you pulled it off the market for a while, do you want to sell it now because this is what we're seeing happening? And Brian showed me one this morning. We just yesterday called them and said, let's just pocket list this for a month, see what we can do for you. And they said, sure.
Looking into expireds and cancels from 2 years ago is well worth your time. Jacob, you deal with a lot of investors as well. Did you see a lot of people say, I'm just gonna hold on? Go let the listing expire.
Even single family houses.
Absolutely. Spending time, you go, well, gosh, I'm new, I'm just getting started, I don't have any, I'm working on putting my database together. Here's your database. Go pull all the expireds from a year and a half to 2 years ago. Start calling. Fine, go ahead.
What does it look like to go into eEdge and put together one single email that just tells a story? Put it on Facebook. Here's what's going on. Right? Do you know anybody that's been talking about selling? Get the word out. You have to tell the story, otherwise somebody else across town is going to.
You had a great, Joe had a great, did y'all see his Facebook post last week at the end of the week about the TMO? You shared it. I know you did, I did. You did? What did it say? What you did, the statistic you just gave?
It was about 50% of homes from 200 to 300,000 are already under contract. And then from 300 to 450, it was close to about 45%. And it was basically, I don't care if you call me, call someone, right? I mean, I understand we're gonna know 6 different real estate agents. Just call somebody about it, because now's the time. We're in the perfect storm.
2.4 months worth of total inventory right now. So what I want you to walk out of here with is okay, we're walking into our time, right? This is it. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. This is when you put the money in the bank. By the way, put some money in the bank. just a side bonus. It's a freebie.
And for
today.
taxes. Which leads me into perfect. Do you need to go?
Oh no! All I was just going to say is, let me just finish my thought. Is just, you guys get passionate about the listings. You will control the market. You will. It's an unequivocal, irrefutable equation. If you have the listings, you're in charge. And how great is that to be? So, is anybody getting our urgency to go get listings? Are we communicating this passionately enough? Okay. That being said, Joe's got a really cool class.
Yeah, 2 of them. So this Friday from 3 to 4, we're doing I don't know if you guys understand, there's this thing on April 15th or something around that date that happens. It's called taxes.
It's called extension. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, exactly. That's what I'm getting after, okay? I can stand up here and say I used to be the extension guy. Every tax day that came up, I said, you know what? October. Here's the thing. I've been able to finally harness that and do my taxes on that tax day, and it is huge breath of relief. It hurts. It absolutely hurts. It's a huge breath of fresh air, though, once it's over.
And you were able to purchase the property. Let's just talk about that for 2 seconds, too. An opportunity came up for investment, and because you were ahead of the game and getting your taxes done, that's part of qualifying.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, on Friday, 3 o'clock, my tax accountant and somebody else is in this room as well. I asked her to come do me a favor. Okay, it's not a sales thing. I asked her to come in and talk to us about some tips to remember when filing, and just be here to answer questions if you have questions. So if you're interested in getting some kind of last minute tax preparation, it'll be at 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, or it could go a little longer than that.
You can never come back in October.
Yeah, I know, right? I probably should. We probably get a broader reach at that point, because that's the absolute.
That's the panic time.
So we have that coming up, and that's on Friday. I'll probably be sending out an email and a video on it. And then the following Monday, Matt Dimmick and Ed Walden went to a class down at Family Reunion. It was a financial success class, something along those lines. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little portion and spin it around and put it on here next Monday from 2 to 4 in the training room. And it's going to be all about financial success. What does it mean? What does it look like? Diving into budgets. So it should be a lot of fun, and at the same time it should hurt a little bit. A good hurt. Okay, so those are 2 classes I want to make sure you got on your schedule.
Those are priority, guys, and those are word on the street. You need to tell everybody. I'm trying to think right now, I got a text from someone this week that said, that they were the brokest person they know that makes a six-figure income. I had another coaching conversation with someone who said, boy, I can't believe how much money I made and I've got these financial challenges. I had another appointment with an agent who had no idea what their household budget consisted of, none. And that person is the primary bill payer and runs the budget. In a 5-day period, and no judgment in any of that, what I'm saying is we have got to get our head around the fact that we make a ton of money. Let's use it smartly and wisely. And we're just seeing this need that we have failed you guys in not providing enough education with, we can teach you how to make the money, now we need to help you figure out what to do with it after you make it.
You mean lives worth living?
There's that piece, that's right.
Yeah.
What else?
So,
Oh, last thing I want to share, and then we're over, so I'll let you go. Anyone who's a home office agent in here, we're pretty excited about some deliverables that we are putting together for you guys. Number one, bullpen space is finally open. Send out an email, but I'm making sure you know where Dale Lamoureux's office used to be on the 5th floor next to Laney Stapley. There's desks, there's chairs. It's not tons of fluff, but it is a door you can close. You can come crash there, make your calls. Please don't leave anything there. We can't guarantee, I mean, it's not gonna be a locked, secure office, and it's not your office, but any home agent office, home agent that wants to come in and find a place to use, you're welcome to be there. Got another piece coming out next week, well, at the end of this week, maybe even today, possibly, tomorrow, okay. That I'm really excited to share, that I have to wait. And we are testing today. The camera adds 10 pounds, so I'm a little freaked out about that. But we are testing, taping our trainings and uploading them to our Keller Williams YouTube channel. So you guys can start watching them again. We'll see how it goes. So this is a test run. So lots of fun stuff coming your way. Any questions or comments before I let you go? Fierce Conversations, June, sign up for it upstairs if you want to be involved in that as well. Thank you.
Oh, is that, we have signed up for that already?
There's a sign